Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode number 25, the show where we talk about Android apps. We bring them to the table. Four of us do this, not just me. And we talk about Android apps, talk about Android news, and some new Android stuff going on. What's that clicky noise? Who's clicking?
I swear it ain't me.
Okay.
Not me.
And I wonder who it is then. And that's the way we
Me?
do in this show. So, it's a lot of fun. If you have an Android phone, you're going to like it. Even if you don't have an Android phone, you're going to want to have an Android phone after you hear all the cool stuff we're going to talk about. So, why don't, Timster, why don't you start us off for today? Then we'll do Steve D, then Door, if that's cool. And then me.
Yeah, no problem. How do you like my background screen?
Very nice.
I don't have very many apps. Matter of fact, I have one app actually, but it's a big one. And this app, I have to give props out to Darren King. Darren King talked to me about this app and turned me on to it, and I love it. Let's see. You know how there's always these voice activated voice activated like the forward sync in cars that help you out while you drive, so you can, so to speak, keep your eyes on the road type thing. There's an Android app that is actually very good at doing that. It's in the beta stage right now, but it's called Vlingo. And basically, it works with your Bluetooth if you have Bluetooth, a headset or something. But if I was using it in my car, and I wasn't using Bluetooth, and it worked great. And basically, you just mount it on in your car, wherever you keep your phone in your car, and you just hit the Vlingo and hit car mode here in car. And I'm going to trying to get you guys to hear this. It might not work out too good here, and this is in beta stage, so keep it in mind. But you could pretty much ask Vlingo to do anything. So let me try it right now. So just say you're driving along and you have your hands on the wheel, and you need something from your phone. So let's just try it here, see what happens. Hey, Vlingo. And of course it's not going to.
No, I've done every time I try to do a demo of something with.
Hey, Vlingo. It did it every time before the dang.
No, that's how it works. That's how the Google machines work. Okay, what did it say?
All right. Well, let me cancel. Let's see what it does.
It's going to curse Timster out after a while.
Yeah, it's going to curse me out. Or I'm going to curse it out probably. But let me try it again here real quick. Let's see. Let me try this. Hey, Vlingo.
What would you like to do?
Text Steve.
Send text message to Steve. Speak your message.
Hey, Steve, this is a new app.
Message, hey Steve, this is a new app. Say send, cancel, or speak your message.
Send it.
Send.
Sending message.
Okay. So, message sent. And then it goes back.
Which Steve did you send it to?
There's only one Steve in my call log, so that should be you.
I got it.
Okay. Real quick, let's try something else.
That was awesome.
Hey.
I got
Hey,
it.
Blinko. That's not going to do it. Well, you can say, let's try that.
What would you like to do?
Find gas station.
Search. Gas stations. Leave Lingo in car to complete this action.
Anyway, it'll bring up your maps, your GPS. It'll bring up your GPS, and it'll flag and locate all the gas stations in your area. It'll flag. You can locate restaurants that way. You can locate even like phone, but like accountants. You can if you're searching for accountants or anything, just about. I mean, it has a wide variety of
Reminds
language.
me of Edwin. Remember Edwin?
Yeah, it kind of barely works. Sometimes does, sometimes
Yeah.
doesn't, type thing. But anyways, it's still in beta, and it works for me more often than not. Of course, right now it's bugging out on me a little
Yeah.
bit, but actually I was a little impressed with it. It did help me out on some occasions. So I think for what it is, it's pretty darn good. I would recommend it,
That's cool. I like it.
and it's free, dude. It's you can't really beat free. So
Very cool. I like it. Any of those apps that, they work when you use them, at least. They're good. They're good. I tried using Edwin for a while, and then I kind of gave up. It's tough in the car, man. My phone has a tough time with voice recognition in the car. It's sitting on top of my Bracketron there, but I don't know if anybody else is having a problem with that.
Yeah, I can tell you, it seems like different apps have different standards of what quiet is. I can't remember what app it is. I have to literally turn off all my air vents, roll up the window, and I can't have my turn signal on, or it will just sit there and say listening.
The turn signal.
Yeah, even the turn signal.
yeah. No, it worked with me all the way up to like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. I was trying all kinds of different things, and then I think I had a phone call and I answered it, and then when it went back, it wouldn't recognize my voice anymore. So yeah, it's buggy, but it's worth a try for anybody. It's really it's interesting when it does work.
Yeah, no, and you can't beat the price. It looks cool. The interface is a little sharper than Edwin too.
Yeah, maybe some updates, down the line it'll be a little bit more better.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, guys, I quit using AppBrain to sync my apps. So if anybody's, looking at my apps on AppBrain, I don't sync with AppBrain anymore. I do use it to search for my apps and, do some research and such. But
Well,
so if anybody's
AppBrain is needed no more. Google Market does this now, doesn't it? No?
Kind of. The only reason I really like AppBrain still is they have a what's hot today list, and in AppBrain it just has. Right now, it has only the most popular games.
Oh, you mean in the
Yeah.
market? In the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually found a lot of my apps I bring to the show on the What's Hot for on AppBrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just been AppBrain's been getting kind of buggy for me trying to keep it synced up and install my apps through that and all that. So I kind of ditched it. But yeah. So that's it for me. I mean, I got a little bit of news, but we can do that later.
Sounds good. Okay, Steve D, ready? Steve D, calling Steve D.
Sorry for the mute.
It's all right.
I got an app I've been using for a long time and I completely forgot about it, and I guess it's because it works that well, and it's called Call Track. It's just very simple. It's kind of like a utility app. It's a very simple app. What it does is, I might have mentioned it before, but maybe just as a mention. Call Track, what it does is, all it does is logs your phone calls that you've received. You can even set it to log your phone calls that you miss. So, like, if you want to keep track of, like, if you're doing a lot of business and you want to keep track of when people are calling you, it's a pretty good idea. You can also what it does, once you install it, it has a bunch of features. You can set it to do exactly what you want. And then if you look in your Google Calendar, if you're using Google Calendar, it'll actually put the person's phone number and how long they called for, or how long you were on the phone with them for.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like to use it because I like to keep track of those kind of things. And I have another thing. We talked about was it GDocs? We talked about GDocs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GDocs is not good. I don't think it's good for most people. In fact, anybody that might be using GDocs, I think what you guys should do, I think everybody should try this if you're using Google Docs, is open the web browser and go to your docs just from your browser and log in that way and try it. Just try it.
I gotta say, I did try it that way. And for a while, I thought that was a great way, but it's too many. It takes too many clicks, and it takes too long to get there. And if you're running slow on the net, then it just takes too long. There's too many, because every time you hit something, it's got to reload a page. So there's like three different page reloads it has to do, and I got tired of doing that.
So
Really?
Steve, see why at least you could say GDocs is a little bit better than what it used to be, or what are you actually trying to do with it? Because, it worked for me, and for what I was doing anyway. It was pretty basic stuff.
When I'm in the car and I think of something I want to do for Nuts at Night or bring on this show, I want to type something in, like at a red light or in a parking lot or something, and I can't do it fast enough before the light changes. Basically. Like that, but I want to take quick notes. I just want to take quick notes before I forget, and I don't want to sit holding my phone for 10 minutes. That's mainly what I want to do.
Then I have the perfect app for you. It's called AK Notepad. I've mentioned mentioned this one a few times. It's my favorite note-taking application because it's ridiculously simple. I mean, and that's, I think, what you're looking for, because that's exactly why I like this app.
Does it sync with anything?
Not with anything. It syncs with this. What was it called? Well, I call it Helipad. It's not Helipad. It's I forget the name of the service. It's called Helip. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but if you type in Google HELIPAD, it syncs with that. It's not free. The sync tool, I think, was a couple bucks.
I see. So it syncs with Helipad, but Helipad's not free.
Helipad is free. This little sync app isn't free. It's a separate app. Okay. So really, this is my system for just because I like speed. I like to quickly click on an app and bam, type within half a second. That's what I want.
Yeah, me too.
And that's why I have this. I mean, I've sacrificed a bunch of features just to be able to do that, and that's this one here. It's not that great in some ways. This system. So right now, just to clear it all up. Okay, I'm using AK Notepad on my phone, and AK Notepad Sync. You need a Sync AK Notepad. So if you type in AK Notepad, you'll find it. And with those two installed, you click on the little icon. This is where it gets a little crummy. I don't know what it is, because I've had constant internet connections and it still doesn't matter. It won't sync to Helipad. Sometimes it won't sync. It'll say it's synced, but it didn't. So a lot of times when I sync twice, and then it almost always goes through.
Damn, another flaky thing. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but another flaky thing. Timster, I think that when I was using GDocs anyway, and I think Door cleared me up on this, it was not working for me when I tried to use a keyboard that didn't like it. So it was mainly keyboard problems.
Oh.
The problem with GDocs I had was when I typed on the keyboard, nothing would appear on the in the window. And then when I closed the keyboard, I found that everything I typed actually did register. It just wasn't appearing as I was typing it. So I think if going back to the stock keyboard, it might fix that. But Steve D, what problem are you having with GDocs?
I didn't like GDocs for a bunch of reasons. I found it to be really, really slow. I also didn't like the way it loaded. I didn't like the way it loaded spreadsheets. I thought it looked like primitive and kind of terrible. I really didn't like the. I also didn't like the way it strips all formatting when looking at text files.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what got me upset. Was if you had no formatting in your doc, or you didn't care about text size and stuff, it works great. But if you had any tables or any special formatting, not even special, just font size formatting, nothing came across. So for just pure text, it was good, but for anything else, I did get upset at it.
And there was a difference for me why I like it, because I don't really care what it looks like. I mean, I know what it looks like on my regular computer or laptop or whatever, but it allowed me to go in with just a simple plain interface and just get my text, what I needed to get done on any particular doc that I pulled up. So
yeah, see, I could get away with using a different app because I only need to take quick notes. I don't need to write like full docs or anything. And what I use, I'll tell you, is Remember the Milk. Here's how fast it takes me. Boom, it opens up. Add task, NAN. I do use that as a tag for Nuts at Night. And I just type a bunch of characters. Done. Boom. That was it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I use Remember the Milk as a note-taking app, and it's not that's not its purpose, but I look at Remember Milk all the time, so it's great to have those in there. And if they're tagged properly, I can just put them in a nice little list. So
I'm like, I guess maybe I'm a control freak. but I just can't stand like a system. Like I need like bare bones, just a like notepad. That's what I need in my phone. Basically notepad, because that's what AK Notepad is. It's just like, Windows Notepad. It's rock solid, simple, and there's no formatting. There's no there's no task. It's not a task program. It's not meant to be. It's I guess it's considered a note taking program, but it's you don't complete tasks and then strike them out or delete them in lines and things like that with this. And so I have ultimate control over how I stack and delete lines and things like that. So that's why I like it a lot. I don't know. That's just, I guess that's just me, but that's the system I like. I also the syncing is definitely flaky, but for me, I use it primarily on the phone. So when I go, I don't really worry about going, syncing it up too often. I just make sure it's backed up and then I'm pretty much done with it.
Yeah.
Or what I do is I check my phone. This is kind of silly. What I do is I sync it twice and then I look at my phone and just give it a brief glance and I look on the web at the Helipad account, make sure that it truly is synced. And then I edit from Helipad and then I have to sync it back. It's not as good as, say, something that automatically syncs. It's the sacrifice I make to make it simple,
Yeah.
and to have simplicity like Notepad. That's my tool. But well, the other thing I wanted to bring up was
I like your cat screaming for her life in the background.
she's just a talkative kitty cat.
You talked about it before. What noise? What do you have to do to make her make that noise? You just pet her, right?
Let's just look at her. I'm not even doing anything. If I pick her up, she doesn't like being picked up because it's like she's being held down, kind of thing. So she'll really cry now. Let's see. Now she's like, "Let go of me."
Oh, that's awesome.
So one of the things I want to talk about, I hope I might be beating somebody else to this. Is TechNibble did a really great article on Apple apps that help in computer repair.
Apple apps?
He said Apple.
You said Apple apps. Did you mean to say it?
Friggin' Apple.
Did you say Apple?
Yes.
Wow. It might be my microphone. They did both iPhone and Android. The first one was iPhone and iPad, and then it did a part 2 for just Android. And I don't have to go through them. I mean, some of them we've talked about before, but there's a couple of them that are like different than we've mentioned. A few of these that are like alternatives to some of these, but there's some pretty good ones in here. Square, Newegg, Tapatalk. I know Dora brought that one. Dropbox, OneVPN, which is something I don't use. PDA-Net, of course. Dell Service Tag Scanner. I don't know.
I love that app.
Yep.
You brought that up, right? It's not written down that way in the doc that we have, the Google Doc for the show.
I think Highlander was the original one that brought that up on the Android App Addicts back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was you.
I mentioned it
was-
again, I think, but Highlander mentioned it originally.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was app number 45 on the list.
Wow, yes. Dell Service Tag Scanner. That's a pretty cool app. That's really good. Let's see. ES FileMat Explorer. I think we met something like that. ConnectBot, Android VNC, and then one of them I'm curious of. LogMe and Ignition. I don't.
Mhm.
I'm dying to know if that's worth $30.
As soon as I get a customer that needs me bad enough when I'm not at my home computer, I'll tell you, because I'll make them
Okay.
pay for it.
I'm dying to hear about if it's any good. Yeah,
That
because I
seems
don't know.
like that would be right up your alley, Door Geek VPN for the.
Oh yeah, so I don't have to mess with any porn keyboards or any roach-infested computers.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't think of it that way. TeamViewer, there's a TeamViewer app out there, I guess.
TeamViewer
Wi-Fi
rocks.
analyst. Oh, it does on the phone.
It is very good. I'm not going to say it's the best VPN app I've used. I've used at least 6 or 7, but it is right there as being just as good as everything else, or better.
Is it? It's free on Android, right?
Completely free. It's in beta, so it's not in the market. You have to go to the TeamViewer website.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. That's pretty neat. And then there's the Wi-Fi analyzer and on-the-job management.
Oh, shut up, Steve.
Is that what you're going to bring up?
Yes, I sent you the
Well,
email about 2 hours ago.
Did you? I just
Yeah.
walked in the door 5 minutes before we hit
You
the
have it on your
show.
phone. It was an email. It's on your phone.
My phone had 5% when I was driving, and I've been driving for 2 hours.
Dang.
No, it's your app. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm just reading the title.
What's that? What was that noise?
That was Door about to blow his top.
Oh, wow. That's
Well,
scared for a
I'm
second.
I'll leave it to you, Dor. Go ahead, tell us about this app because I don't know anything about it.
Are
I
you
was going to lead into it.
Are you done, Steve D, or do you want to go over to Door, or you have some more stuff?
No, I'm done.
All right, well then, Door, you can lead it. You don't have to say it now, Door. You can talk about it later if you want.
No, I've only used this app for maybe 24 hours, but I definitely think it has parts of the app I really like. First thing I want to do is I'm expanding my screen so we can't see it all, but at least what is seen is legible. The one thing I really like about this app, to be honest, I can't show about it. The first thing I'll mention is it installs 2 things: on the job and OTJ calendar. I kind of don't like when apps do that. I like them to install one and then ask about installing the other. But I like this app because it is pretty simple. It does have a very simple list, very simple options. Let me see. When you go to add something, you can add different kinds of things, different categories of things. You can add voice as one of the things you want to add. Where is the other list? I think it's add draft. Yeah. Now at the bottom I have who, what, where, when, and note. Who takes me to my contact so I can quickly add a contact to what's going on here. If I select what, it's basically going to give me enter a job description and or take a picture. Just click the camera and you can do a picture. Where you can do it, a address via contact, existing location via like GPS coordinates, create new location if you're not there yet. When it syncs in with the calendar app, you can create an event or select a current event. Note is basically free form. It also allows voice note taking. So you can audio capture, picture capture, and then text capture. The real kicker about this app I like, if you go look at the marketplace page, it has to have this link there. What it does is when you're in a call, this is the first app I've seen do this. When you're in a call, on the top right-hand corner of your screen, it puts a widget. So while you're talking to somebody, you can click it and you can add a note, edit a note, do extra modifications. I'm 90% sure if you go to add a contact and you're on a phone call, it adds that contact. So while you're in a phone, you don't have to hit, while you're in a phone call, you don't have to hit extra buttons to quickly take a note.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That alone to me that was the selling factor. I instantly told about 3 people I know, do me a favor. I'm only going to use this app in my limited function as a side job and things. These guys, they're independent business owners. My guess is they'll have more notes to take during the day than me. So I asked them, do me a favor, try this, tell me what you think of it. I personally think it is a little bit more complex than I Remember the Milk or any of these other things. But I like some of the diversity, like the audio clip and a picture pretty simply. You just hit the camera button and it will ask you, take a picture or use existing picture. So I'm having a lot of fun with this app. Every time basically I'm having something I need to do, and it's not right now, I enter it in so I don't forget about it. And when I do it, I take it off the list. Yeah, I'll say this is not the perfect app, but I think this can be a good app for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's not bad. I mean, I didn't install it yet, but I'm just checking out all the features here.
Right. Honestly, if you find yourself wanting to take notes during a call, done. There's no other app I know that makes it this easy. No syncing with anything that I know of. That's one downfall.
Yeah, that's such a huge downfall these days, though. Syncing is everything to me.
I know. Now, it does have in-app backup feature, so there might be a way you can back something up and do it on another app. But, that's a pain, and I'm sure with tablets slowly progressing and being more popular and more of them coming out, there's going to be a lot of apps. I cannot see apps that would not sync to other devices you have. So if you do have a tablet and a phone, you set them both up and they will be like permanently synced back and forth. I think that's only a matter of time. The second app I want to talk about, I used the second app to ask the 3 people I knew to try the first app. And I don't know about you guys, as soon as I got my Android phone, the idea of push to talk, the old Nextel feature thing, it kind of like mystified me with like, this could be cool. That we don't even have to pay for calls. It's over the data network. Oh, this could be cool. I personally don't like sitting down to like eat with my family and I pick up my fork and then I hear, "Hey, what are you doing?" I personally don't like that. I get very aggravated by that. And when I'm laying down going to sleep, I don't want to hear coming from downstairs, "Dude, what are you doing?"
That's
it was one of those things, great concepts, bad in reality.
Yeah.
This app
it's good for people who are on jobs, like construction workers and stuff.
Yeah, it's good for people who are on time-based jobs, I'll say.
Yeah.
Mission-critical time-based jobs. Me, I'm network support. If something's really broke, somebody else is going to try to fix it. If I'm in the bathroom or getting lunch,
Yes.
They don't need me that bad. I'm purposely not that vital. But this app is called HeyTell, all one word, HeyTell. Very push to talk like, but all it does is send the person a notification. I honestly like this app because all you do is you add your contacts to it. If your contacts do not have the app, it knows it and it asks, do you want to send an invite? You say yes by email, by text message, whatever. And then once you have the app loaded, you simply click that person, you tap a huge orange button, like half the size of the screen, and you talk. And then when you let go, it automatically gets delivered. And then when someone sends you a message, you just get a notification.
It's like a voicemail. It's like a voicemail, but you don't have to go to your voicemail app.
Right. And you don't have to call. You don't have to wait for the ring.
Right.
You don't have to, oh, God, he's not picking up. You already know this is something easier done by voice, because some things are a lot easier by text. You know what I mean? If I want to convey a hard spelling of a URL, I'm going to do it by email or text.
Right.
Because all you got to do is click. But some things are a lot quicker by voice, and it isn't drop dead critical, needs to be there right now. But you can virtually hold a conversation. Tracy Holtz, the redneck tech down in Texas, we were basically holding conversations where I would hit it, talk, literally 30 seconds later, I would get a notification, and he had a reply.
Really?
And then I would hit it back, and I would say something. 30 seconds later, another reply. I think this is the kind of app I can really learn to like, but the only downside of it, it's like video phones. If you're the only one in your family that has it, it's a waste.
Right.
So I got to know people that are on it.
Yeah, it's got to catch on.
Well, or just get the people that you care about on it,
I like it because it's like text messaging but with voice. You know, you don't
Right,
have to
exactly.
reply right away. You know, you read it when you want to read it.
But
Here's-
it's less convenient than text messaging because you got to listen to it.
Well,
Yeah.
True.
it depends on what you're doing at that time. If you're driving, to me, it's more convenient because you don't have to listen to, "Hello, Steve. This is Steve. I am at," you know, and
Yes.
you can actually hear my voice.
Yes, you're right. For
Which
driving, it
isn't-
is good. You're right.
which is much better. But here's the thing I like about it.
How do you know when I'm going to be driving?
I don't have to guess. Here's it. Well, I can watch you on Google Latitude when it's moving really quick. You're driving. But here's what I like. I never have to worry about my dad sending me a message because he will never use this app and he will never have a phone that uses this app. Thumbs up. There's certain people I don't have to worry about sending me a voice thing. I, honest to God, rejoice in that fact. And then people who have an Android phone and I still don't want a voice message from them, I just won't add them to my list.
If you don't get an an invite to Hey Tell from Door, don't feel bad.
I'll say this: virtually everybody in the podnutz community, you have nothing to worry about. You know, you can ask questions, you can call me a dork, you can, you know, say I mispronounced a word or I'm totally wrong about something. I don't care. But like coworkers, I don't want to hear from them guys.
Right.
I got better things to do.
That's cool. Yeah, no, we were messing around with the store. It was pretty fun. It's like a Nextel thing. You hold the button, you talk into it, and then you let go, and you're like, okay, message is gone now. Where did it go?
Right. And from my experience with the Nextel thing, I never had one, but many people around me had them. You kind of sound like poop on those things. And what everybody who's new to it does, they don't understand. It's like a walkie-talkie. With a walkie-talkie, what you're supposed to do is hit the button, wait a half a second, and start talking. People with Nextels in the beginning don't understand you have to wait because it takes like a second for the stuff to click.
Yeah.
So they usually sound like crap for a while. But with this app, you hit it and it takes a second for the message to come up saying recording. I believe they like pre-buffer it. So but by the time you see that, it already is recording.
Oh, neat.
Because I've never heard the beginning of anything get cut off.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The last app I have, and thanks Chris for calling me a dork. You could have called me so much worse. The last app I have, I don't know about you guys, there's certain attachments I get in Gmail or in whatever email application I'm using because I'm not using Gmail. But even when I did use Gmail, there's certain attachments I get I couldn't save. I just couldn't save the attachment. It would let me preview it or let me view it as a picture or something like that, but it wouldn't let me save it. And it really made me a little upset because there's certain files I just wanted to save. And I thought, what's the easiest way to get it to my phone? I'll just email it to myself. Email it to myself, can't save it. So I literally stumbled across this app today and I tested it with every file extension format I could think of, including completely unknown file formats. And every time when I hit preview, it popped up a thing saying, do you want to open with save my attach, and that's the name of the app. Save my attach.
All one word?
No, separate words. 3 separate words. Save my attach. ATTACH.
Got it. There it is.
Yeah. Stupid, simple. It's the kind of app when you install it, you're honestly going to forget it's installed because it just does its job when it's needed, and then it doesn't keep running. I've learned to appreciate those kind of apps. Because like, I'll say like you, Steve, see, I don't even know why I have a task killer installed on this phone. Since the first week I ROMmed, I haven't needed it. For the first week, I still ran it for some unknown reason. I would launch it and I would say, kill this app.
Just out of habit.
Right. And I come to the realization I don't need it.
Yeah.
I really don't need it. Everything is running so nice. The last thing I just want to throw out there is I did find a list, and I'm going to post it in the podnutz forums. On the Droid X, I was thinking there's 2 or 3 ROMs, something like that. I found a site, I think it was Android Central. It listed, I want to say, 17 different types of Android Droid X specific ROMs. So I'm going to be busy, guys. But we did have an email real quick, Steve. I don't know if you wanted me to mention that.
I didn't get it, so they must have sent it direct to you.
I thought it was more to you. Okay.
Oh wait, no.
So-
Oh, you sent it to me because the person themselves did not send it to me.
Right. I think I thought I replied with you in the.
Yeah, you probably did. Let me check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that. You want me to read it now?
I mean, I just wanted to get it out of the way real quick because I'm always afraid I'm going to forget.
Okay. What, you have somewhere to go? You want to get it out of the way real quick? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'll just forget.
I'm just kidding. All
And now I'm
right. Okay, it's about SD card corruption.
No, that one I literally just got and I didn't have time to go over it.
Okay. Play
This one was
some
from
play some intermission music while I find this, please.
Do, 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 do,
Okay.
do, 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 do.
Okay. Okay, I said.
Oh, sorry.
What was that?
Yeah, Dora, I'm not sure. I don't think I actually got it.
I just sent it to you. That's why I was still making noise.
That's awesome. All right, keep making. Oh, here it is. Dark slide ROM. Okay, I see it. All right. Oh wait, I thought we read this one from Brian.
I think we know because I got this the day after the show
Okay.
last week.
All right,
I
we
thought.
He says, Brian says, would you mind doing a test and reporting on the Dark Slide 4.2 ROM? I'm thinking of, what is that word? Switching. Okay, he's thinking of switching to that. It's not that I can't pronounce switching, guys. It's just spelled weird. I'm thinking of switching to that, but I would like to have an unbiased opinion of it, not like in the forum for it. Thank you, guys, and keep up the great work. He wasn't talking about the podnutz forums. He was probably talking about the Dark Slide forums. Our Dark Slide 4.2 ROM, he would like us to test it, and I take it you did, Dor.
Well, first off, I'll say I am completely biased. Unbiased to being neutral, if that makes any sense.
No, that doesn't really.
Okay, first off, I'll say I had a really hard time finding this because I can't read, and I kept looking for Dark Side. I pounded for like 3 hours trying to find Dark Side. And I couldn't figure out if I couldn't find it.
Right.
But I did find it. And I'll say this is a very interesting ROM. It has blur features in it, so it's not the lightest app you will see. But to give you an example of the kind of stuff this app does, it is very blingy and colorful, I'll say.
So you're running the ROM right now?
Oh yeah, I've had it since last Friday. Partially because I wanted to give it a full, fair shake.
What's that meter up there in the next to your clock?
That's my battery meter. Right now, it's charging.
Sweet.
So it's going up and down, and when it's not plugged in, it tells me a number.
It does? It has a number? That's awesome.
It has a number, and the meter bar itself changes color depending on where it's at on the meter.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Everything is very colorful
Let's see it.
this.
Can we see?
This is the settings screen. Every one of the icons has a color and an icon to go with it. I believe every one I've seen pretty much just has a black and white icon. Nothing really special, fancy, but every place has a lot of extra effects also with stuff. Let me see if I go.
Oh, I see the colors now. Okay.
Yeah, every place is extra colors, and I'm trying to find. See, that was hard to tell on the screen, but every place has a lot of fancy window effects.
Okay, we could barely see it, but there's a couple frames of animation there.
Yeah. The one thing I will tell you is if you do install this ROM, the first thing you have to do is you have to go to an app called Spare Parts. Spare Parts is in a lot of the Android ROMs, and what it does is it gives you a lot of extra information about your phone, number one, like battery history, battery inventory, user stats right there. But it also gives you a lot of settings like window animations, off, normal, fast, slow, or very slow. So if I say very slow, and now we do the window animations, you should be able to see more of the frames.
Right.
The default was slow, or it wasn't slow. It was slower than I like it.
Right.
So when I first loaded the ROM, I thought, this thing is so slow. How am I going to use it? So I went into spare parts. I found that and I said, oh, okay, much more doable now, much more doable. You can even change the default font size, compatibility mode. It lets older apps run in compatibility mode. As far as I'm concerned, that can only be a good thing. It can't be bad. But I'll say, if you don't mind having a little extra blur stuff in here, which it does have like the Motorola backup utility, which I will not use to save my life. It has the My Account section in here where it has all the normal stuff, the corporate sync, the email, the Facebook, the Google, the MySpace, Photobucket, Picasa, Skype, Mobile, Twitter, Visual Voicemail, Yahoo Mail. That's blur right there. That's blur in a nutshell, having all that extra stuff in there. So if there's certain parts about the blur that you think you like, and you really like to have a blingy interface with lots of bright colors without being like the Tron theme, which was enough to make your eyes go crossed, it's cool. I mean, it ain't bad. It's faster than I thought it was once I went to spare parts and tweaked that. But I am going to probably get rid of it in a couple days, partially because I'm a Linux guy, so I like hopping from distro to distro.
I'll tell you what, guys, if you want to take up all of Door's days, just keep sending emails asking him to test certain ROMs, and he'll have no choice but to test them all for you.
Well, I got 17 of them now. I got to hop on.
So send us the next one you want Door to test.
Sure.
All right. Well, Brian, hopefully that worked for you. I thought that was a great review, Door. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'll just say.
Is it news? I want to do my app, Door.
No. It's just a quick summarize of ROM. ROM everything you can. It only increases your battery life and gives you a better experience.
Cool.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say
you won't have to use Task Killer anymore.
Right, I'm happy to say even Jerry from Android Buffet ROM'd his device. Good man, Jerry. Good man. Yep.
Did you hear that show they were talking about podnuts, and they're like, what exactly is a podnut? And then they gave their
How many's in a podnut?
How many nuts are in a podnut? It was really funny. You guys got to check it out.
Yeah, they're very good guys.
All right. As you guys know, let me give you a quiz. Let's give a quiz. What do I complain most about on smartphones? What's my biggest gripe? What feature do I want that I'm always saying the only problem with phones is this? Door you can't go
Too
because
small.
What's too small?
The phone.
Yeah. And then when I have to, and what problem does that create for me? It's too small. Is my eyesight bad? I can't see how small it is, or why don't I like
Keyboard.
small? Yes.
Yeah.
Ding ding ding. I have to say, this app that I downloaded, I think I'm using this word right, assuaged me. It I don't even know
I'm
why
already
I thought
I'm already confused.
assuage. You know the word assuage? It always reminds me of
No.
sausage when I say assuage. No,
Reminds
it's
me of a gown, but okay.
it reminds you of what?
A gown.
A gown. Anyway, this app mitigated, let's say that, mitigated my desire to actually get the Samsung Galaxy Tab, because the main reason I wanted that device in the first place is because I wanted a bigger device. Well, I downloaded, I've done this every couple months. I get frustrated with my phone, and I go on the market and I type keyboard, and I try to find a keyboard that I like. And finally, I found a keyboard that I think is awesome. And it only makes the keys a little bit bigger than what they normally are, but it's big enough that I don't keep hitting the wrong keys anymore. And it's the best I'm going to get on this phone, and it actually is, to me, it made a big enough difference that I don't really want the Galaxy Tab as much anymore, because I can type fast on this phone now. And the app is Better Keyboard 8. It's Better Keyboard 8. I'll show you in the cam here what the keyboard looks like with it and how I have it set up, because I did change a couple settings on it. Let's see. Let's go to that. Okay.
So what you're saying is this keyboard goes to 11?
This keyboard definitely goes to 11. There's the keyboard. If you look at it, the keys go the whole length of the screen, as opposed to, how keyboards kind of come in at an angle. If you look at that top row of keys, it goes all the way. It makes full use of the screen. It goes higher, I think, than most keyboards too. So
Yeah.
they're a little taller, the keys. And when I have a keyboard, I turn off all text prediction. Gone, none. I don't want any of that crap. And I also, when you press a key, it doesn't pop up what key, like a little picture of the key you just pressed. For speed reasons, I turn that off. They still light up when I press a key, but they don't pop up the letter that I pressed like most keyboards do. It's black. It's badass. The keys are big, and I could type like a rocket on it. It's just and there's nothing fancy. It's not new technology. It's just the biggest keyboard I could find, and quite enjoying it. Better Keyboard 8. I think I bought the Pro version because I wanted to adjust a setting on it, and it wouldn't let me. So it was only limited how much I could mess around with the free version. So I think I paid $2 for the Pro version. And
What's the Pro version called?
It's Better Keyboard 8. If you type, it's not all one word either. If you type Better Keyboard 8, you're going to see two versions in the market. One's paid, one's free. I bought the paid one. I can't remember why, but I know I did it for a reason, and totally love the keyboard.
Well,
I didn't think a keyboard would be my only app for this week, but I'm blown away. I love it. It basically handled a problem that I've been having with a phone for a while. It's finally taking advantage of the real estate on this thing, the screen real estate, and I can type fast, and I'm not messing up typing as much anymore. So,
well,
I think it's awesome.
I do see one that costs $2.99.
Yeah.
And it's just called Better Keyboard. It is by the same developer.
Let me punch it up. It's got to be it then. It's got to
Okay.
be it. But let me punch it up. Let me go to App Brain. They have the best punching
They have
uppies.
And it looks like they have font packs too.
Yeah, there is font packs. I didn't change any of the font packs. I turned off almost all the predictive text vibration, all the bling. I just turned it completely off.
Dude,
yes. What?
You got to look at their font pack. They have a Blade Runner font. Now I'm tempted to buy it.
I don't see Blade Runner.
It's in their font pack games by the same developer.
Oh.
But okay, so it is that one just called Better Keyboard.
It's Better Keyboard, yes, and it's
Okay.
If you look at the screen here, there's two versions of it. There's the one with the black keys that I like. That doesn't look like it. Oh, that's just because the font's probably changed. That must be the Blade Runner font. That's pretty cool. And there's the keyboard with there's two letters on it. I don't use that. I use just the big black keys. One symbol on each one. Love it to death. To death. I love
And does it have complete shift and control? Because
Yes.
I've had a couple keyboards where I literally could not find underscore. I think it was. It's like it didn't exist.
Yeah, they're all there. Oops, wrong camera. It's all there. It's all there in black and white.
So, Steve, if you go vertical, is it easier to type with one hand?
I don't know.
Really?
I'm not big on vertical. Go vertical.
And I mean, I didn't know you had that much problems typing. Is it? I thought you were a big fan of the swipe features on some of those. Is that compatible with any of the swipe?
I'm not. I
No.
started out liking that in an attempt to find a keyboard that see. My whole goal is how fast can I type on this thing. That's my whole goal. I don't care if I have to go around in circles like that 8-bit one or whatever, or do swipes, as long as it's going to make me faster. And I found the only thing after trying all those, the only thing that I was still faster with a normal keyboard where you just press down on buttons rather than doing all kinds of swipe features. And so then I had to look for the keyboard with the biggest buttons to get the fastest typing, and that's how it just came out. I don't know. I don't use landscape or portrait as much with typing, and I don't do type too much typing.
One hand typing, man. I do that more often than not.
You do?
Actually,
I suck.
I don't want to know what you're doing with the other hand, Timster. But
both hands on the keyboard.
okay. I'll say the one thing I truly, honestly believe from playing with this phone a little bit too much during each day for 5+ months is keyboards are very personal. You know what I mean? Keyboards are very personal to the user. Everybody's going to like something different.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And I'll say, like you, Steve C., I prefer one way over the other, portrait and landscape. Partially that's because the keyboard I like in one way, I don't like it the other way. There is an app out there. It's called Keyboard Manager. I'm going to have to play with it. I don't even want to list it in the apps right now. It's not an app from the store. You have to go out and get it, I think, on XDA. what it allows you to do is it allows you to set one keyboard to be used in portrait and a different keyboard to be used in landscape by default, so you don't have to actively switch the keyboards back and forth.
That's pretty cool.
That could be useful, because I tell you, when I'm in landscape, I hate slide. I don't want sliding keyboard because it's too hard to use. I gotta go all the way over. In portrait, I love the one-handed slide keyboards, but so I want to try that app. I want to see if I can get it to work, because I think, you know, keyboards are like women. I don't know. Something.
We could get really messy if we try to describe what keyboards are like.
I'll just shut up.
What are you? Let's do some Android news here, because we don't have any other emails.
Biggest news has to be Android web-based market, which you can one-click install an app from the web page.
Have you used it?
Yeah, and it works. You just click install, bang, it's on your phone. It's just like AppBrain used to be till the Android framework screwed up everything and didn't let them do that anymore.
I'm migrating to that then.
Yeah, it has a lot of good stuff. I'll say a lot of similar stuff, a lot of good stuff. I like how you can name your device. So this, and AppBrain had it too to a degree, but it's meant for multiple devices. So when you go to install an app, you get the one-click installer, which is actually 3-click. Click one to install, pop up, click to install, and then click to say you're finished.
I love that. The one-click installer is 3 clicks.
It is, and they even said it in the Honeycomb address that you can go and watch after the fact. They kept saying one-click installer, and then you got to click OK. But it is intended for multiple devices, because when that first pop-up window pops up, it allows you to select a device. And hypothetically, let's say my phone is on Eclair and my tablet is on Gingerbread. If I click an app and it cannot be installed on Eclair, it will default to the other device, even if the Eclair device is the device I set as my default device. So it's at least smart that way too. I don't like their searching and filtering compared to AppBrain. On the AppBrain, you have, like we said, hot today. Then you can really crunch that down and say only the free today, only the free games today, only the free action games today. And you can really dig down and find some unique apps. Right now, the way the Android market is set up, I think it is quite crappily if you want to discover or find things, unless it's something ultra popular that everybody has, which we don't really focus on that. So, you know,
I have not messed with it yet. Yeah, it does need work. It has needed work from the beginning.
Yeah, I think your typical Google, this is great. Never mind, it will be great. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah, I hope Google TV becomes great. I'm
well,
increasingly worried about that little thing.
If you would have watched, and I'll post it in the Justin TV, there's a link on Droid-Life to where you can watch the full Honeycomb thing. It's like 52 minutes.
Is it good?
Guys watching the show, don't start watching it. I
didn't watch the Honeycomb briefing, but I did hear that it's very much it's very Windowsy. Did they say Windows?
I could honestly understand why it looks and appears more Windows-esque. I could definitely go for that, but I'll say it's still, to me, definitely pure Android. But it is definitely not a phone-based system, which is why I still believe to a degree, Android is going to get forked in some way.
It should. It better.
Well, it might just be home screens, which in that case, launchers. So it doesn't matter what device you have. You can put a tablet launcher on your phone or a phone launcher on your tablet. So
I think it should get forked. I think it should get forked. They should start over at A with the tablet OSs and stop messing around.
I thought I read an article saying that it was forked.
The ZDNet article says it's forked, and then the very first sentence of their article says, "We know it's not technically happened yet, but we believe it's well on the way." You know what I mean? So it's like they kind of lied in the heading of it. I'll say this, to me, this presentation was not a Steve Jobs-esque CES presentation to me kind of thing. this was definitely geared a little bit more towards geeks and nerds, I'll say, except for the second guy who comes up on stage who's very, his hair was like greased back a little bit. Looked like he was a little goofy. But they definitely said a couple things, because I went into this thinking, I don't care about honeycomb. Why do I care about honeycomb? I got my beautiful ROMs, yes. And then I watched it, and then at one point in time, I was like, whoa, I need me honeycomb. And then a couple hours later, I don't remember what that was. So I guess it really wasn't that important.
Well, either that or you were hungry.
Well, I'm always hungry. You should know me, Steve. I leave to go to lunch at my 9 to 5. I get there at 8:30. At 10 o'clock.
When do you come back to work?
When do I come back for my lunch, or when am I supposed to come back for my lunch? I'm supposed to be back by 10:30.
Door goes in at 8:30, goes to lunch at 9:30, comes back at like 4 in the afternoon, goes home.
No, but I tell you, my mom, God rest her soul, the governor initiated, you don't get paid for your lunch anymore, so everybody had to work longer during the day. So my mom, she worked before that, and then she said, okay, this is governor time. She would close the door to her office, close the back door to her office, put her feet up, and take an hour nap.
Nice. I think that I would do that too. I would take a nice big break in the middle of the day, and just come back to work when I feel like it.
Yep.
Tim, so what's your news?
Everybody should do that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. Hey, Dor, you're gonna like this. I'm pretty confident you are. I mean, I know I liked it whenever I got the original Droid here, the Motorola Droid, and I was attached to my phone, and the Droid 2 came out, and Steve D got his Droid 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, dang. And I was happy to hear that really there wasn't nothing really that much greater about the Droid 2 than the original Droid. Right, Steve? Do you still feel that way?
What?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. Well, good.
I didn't know which one. I didn't know who you're talking to for a second.
Well, the only person that has the Droid 2. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's not that much of a performance increase. In fact, the keyboard for me, the going from the physical keyboard, going from the other one to this one is definitely a little problematic. And it's nothing that overly special.
Okay. Well, good. So Door Geek, you have the Droid X, right? You love and you cherish your Droid X. Well, guess what?
Yeah. The Droid X2?
The Droid X2 has been seen in the wild. And I think you will be glad to know that it's really not going to be that big of a deal, really. Because it's going to have the same size screen. It is going to have a better pixel ratio of 540 to 960. I think your Droid has 480 to 854.
It doesn't matter.
So it's going to have a little better resolution.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter. Do you see the size of these glasses?
Oh,
I won't be able to tell the difference.
It's going to sport a dual core Tegra 1 gigahertz chip, which that's pretty cool. But other than that, the same battery. How about that? And it's going to ship with 2.2 Froyo, so and everything else is pretty much the same.
Why Froyo?
I believe it.
And they're not sure whether it's going to have LTE support or not.
Oh, I
so
bet
that would make a huge difference.
Yeah. Here's a gimmick. The more I think about it, the more I'm the guy who always wants something new. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that always wants something fresh in my hands. I can honestly say to myself, as long as app development doesn't get too crazy, hardcore, like needing memory, needing processor absurdly,
you're happy.
I could see in 2 years me not trading this phone in because I'm perfectly satisfied with the huge screen.
2 years. I mean, I thought you were going to say, yeah, I'm happy with my phone for now, but no, I didn't expect 2 years to come out.
No, I'm not happy. I'm thrilled with what I can do with this device and how I can pwn it and how I can do what I want to do, how I can take any app I want off of this friggin' thing forever.
Just say it, though. Your wife isn't going to let you upgrade for another 2 years.
Well, that goes without saying. I am a happily married man.
I have to admit, too, I'm happy with the Evo. I have had no desire to switch hardware except to a bigger, like the only thing I was thinking about switching was to the Tab just because it's bigger, not because better in any other way. I'm happy with the
I'm
Evo.
surprised to hear you say that, Steve. You're real fickle about your electronics.
Yes. Like, wait,
So
me or
that's-
Door?
Steve C.
Yes, I agree. It's
Yeah.
it's been proven. I mean, after the first week when I dropped it, then that first week, I put the case on and I just prayed that it would never fail after that, and it's just been a trooper, and it's fast. So it's all about the modded ROMs in the end. Moral of the story.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Anything else you need to go over?
Just one super quickie. I need somebody out there with some brains. There is a product. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I thought I sent you an email, Steve C, but I can't find it. There's a device out there, a hardware device. And by hardware device, I don't mean a computer. It's a little physical hack. It's what we talked about, I think, on episode 2, where you literally clip it to your phone and it turns your rear-facing camera into a front-facing camera, not a side-facing camera. There's a couple of them I found, and let me just glance here super quick, see if it comes up quick. One More Face, all one word. One More Face, and then space Android should get it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All it is a little piece of metal bent with a mirror on it. And it's all of the pictures they showed are basically the picture is right side up and everything's right. Now, it might be right is left, left is right kind of thing, but I don't care. I need somebody with some physical ability of bending and forming to make one of these for me. Because
That's
I can't do
interesting.
it.
I can't.
That's,
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Definitely something to think about.
Where is it? One More Face for Droid. I just Googled it.
Yeah, if you just Google it and go to Google Images, every image is the exact same image.
I see. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that. And that's all it is. It's a little stupid thing. They designed it for the Nexus 1, I believe. But that ain't no Nexus
You're
1.
not gonna walk around with that thing on your phone, are you?
Well, I didn't say walk around with it, but I could see like the square thing having it in my pocket.
I would never carry it around. It would just an extra thing like that would never stay with me. It would just I would get a dry. I would lose it. It would be over. I'd be sitting on the couch and it would be over on like the coffee table. It wouldn't be in hand's reach, so I'd have to get up and go get it, and that's just too much work.
Well, I'll tell you the amount of crap I have in my pockets, and then in my jacket pockets, and then when it's summertime, my backpack. This is like a snowflake on a mountain.
Okay, I can see how that. I can see
You
that.
know, and that's just personal thing.
Hey, I forgot to mention this. I was going to do it in the beginning of the show, but we're going to do it right now, actually. Let's do a commercial for our friend Lalo. If you guys know from past episodes, we've been talking about him having done videos to make you guys better PC technicians. And he finally finished them. The site is up and it's live, and the videos are killer. It's for sale, and what you got to do, which I recommend you all do, at least check it out, is go to betterpctech.com. betterpctech.com. You'll find Lalo's site there. Basically, there is a set of videos he did that cover all kinds of things to improve your efficiency and productivity and get you kicking ass as a PC tech. These are great tips that I swear, after you watch this, you're going to be like, I can't believe I didn't do it this way in the past.
Right.
Example, like automating tasks that you do every day. He's mastered this scripting program where he actually does something where he says, wow, I hate doing this, or I have to do this too many times, and it's too repetitive. Lalo just automates it. That's what he does. He's like the automator. So he's included like a bunch of automated scripts that he's created to do things that PC techs do all the time, over and over. So that will be a lot of those things will be handled.
Yeah.
For example, just you go to the page and read it. Installing device drivers. He's got methods for doing that. He's got a great way for installing Malwarebytes when the malware is actively blocking it from being installed, and it's not quite the method you think. It's a much faster way. Windows Updates handles that. If you go to the site, you can see all the goodness. He's got a bonus video on how to give customers their own domain name instead of having a Yahoo, Gmail, or Hotmail domain name. Just go to betterpctech.com, check it out. Support our friend Lalo. My mouse keeps stopping there. I don't stop there on purpose. I did a testimonial for the videos. That's what you're seeing there in the video. You could buy them now. They're instantly downloadable. He's basically giving them away for the price he's charging for them. You know how I always say, like, oh, this will cost you less than one PC job? Well, this will cost you much, much, much less than doing one PC job. So it will pay itself off in no time. So let's go over there and check it out for Lalo. BetterPCTech.com.
I like that. Lalo the Automator.
Yeah, I know. I just thought of that. We gotta,
Okay, see, I just have one last thing.
Like the Terminator, like the Terminator, but the Automator. Yes, one last thing, Door.
Only because it's important. Play on, all one word, brings Hulu and Netflix viewing to Android beta testers.
Ooh.
So these two things could be right around the corner.
Ooh, that's cool.
And it's from Download Squad, I believe is where I got the link from.
Play On is a software program that runs on your Windows PC, giving you access to a wide range of internet content on your TV, Hulu, Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, VOD, and others. Let me see. Wow. That's pretty neat. Got to check that out. It's
right now, it's only beta testers.
Maybe we could sign up. Hopefully they'll let us.
I tried. I did find the page, and I did submit my name.
I'm going to pull a Door real quick. One more thing real fast. One more quick thing. I did notice, actually, in the latest CompUSA ad I got, there's an Android tablet with a Tegra 2 7-inch screen. It's like Galaxy Tab sized for $299. It's called the Elocity something. But I was really surprised that it's sitting there just with a Tegra 2, and it's not something we've heard of before. I don't know how crappy or good it is, but $299 is a pretty good price for a Tegra 2 tablet. So do you guys hear about that at all?
Is it just Wi-Fi?
Yeah, just Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and I have one more quickie.
What?
Nook 2 pulled off the shelves today.
The Color Nook?
Nook was pulled off the shelves.
Why?
That's a heck of a story.
Well, the speculation is they're going to make it unrootable and unrommable.
They didn't like the fact that people were rooting it.
Are you serious?
That's what the rumor mill is.
That's why people were buying it.
I know, which just goes to show the old philosophy I had about a boardroom with a bunch of guys in suits sitting around circle jerking and have no idea what the customers are doing.
Dude, they're like, can you imagine that meeting? There's one young guy in the meeting. All the other guys are just old school, and they're like, people are hacking our device, and the young guy is going like, yeah, but people are buying it, and he shows like a stat graph that's just like going sky high,
right?
And they're like, yeah, but they're messing around with it. Yeah, but we're selling them. Wasn't that the whole idea? No.
I think kind of more like this. Hey, there are people having fun with our device, and then there's like, well, we need to put a stop to that.
No, I can tell you now, it's a bunch of old crackers sitting around, and somebody said when they modify our device, they're not buying books on, our store anymore.
Right.
They're using the Amazon Marketplace. We can't have any of that.
That's true. I bet Mr. Barnes and Noble were in there putting their 2 cents in.
Yeah, they need to be kicked.
All right. Door, where can people find you?
Okay, there's nothing else. Door@gmail.com. BetterPCTech.com. Go there.
Sweetness. Tim Kelly, Tim's Computer Fix. Is that where people can find you?
Timscomputerfix.com. Timster_ on Twitter.
Timster_. Steve D?
StephenDMiko.com for my blog, and SMDSteve on Twitter.
Awesome. And you guys know where to find me. You're already on the page, hopefully. That's going to be it for Android App Addicts for this week. Stay tuned for Nuts at Night coming up right now almost, and we'll see you next week.